So it's been about a month since I made the video about speculating on Steam. I called it commodity investing, I believe, in my last video, but this is not really investing. This is pure speculation. Basically, you buy a bunch of items, you hope that they're going to go up in price, and if they do go up in price, you'll make some money, and if they don't, you lose some money. But it's based on expectations and beliefs and all that stuff. So since last month, since about a month ago, these items have gone down in price, but I have spent another $1,100 buying them. And currently I own a little bit over $2,500 worth of these items. I own 1,477 of these crates. And currently they're selling for $2.61 on Steam. So I'm going to go into more detail about how this entire system works in just a little bit, and also my price entry points and stuff like that. But before that, I just want to explain what happened for those of you who don't know. So this is the chart for the entire lifetime that these items were alive. I made my last video around this time over here. So these items got discontinued over here, and they went up in price fairly quickly after they got discontinued. Now it took about a day for these items to start slowing down, going up in price. So over here, like, they kept going up in price, up and up and up, and as soon as they slowed down and started falling off a little bit, basically everybody panicked and everybody oversold their items. So pretty much from this area right here, everybody, I mean, people can't even hold these items for more than a week. People just want to cash in on their profit as quickly as possible. So after this point kind of went up, pretty much everybody dumped their items in the market, and they crashed for a little bit over a week, and then they kind of stabilized over here. And I spent about $1,100 buying a bunch more items around here. And the reason why I bought them, well, there's actually a few reasons, but I'm not going to go into all of them. But one of the main reasons why I started buying, why I bought more of these items instead of selling them, is because they finally stopped going up in the quantity that they're available on the market. So around here, I believe there was, I actually don't remember, but there was like 50,000 of them on the market around here, and people started dumping them onto the market, and the amount of them that were on sale on the market kept increasing and increasing and increasing. And about a week ago, it hit 180,000 items on the market, and ever since it hit 180,000 items, which was about right here, it started going down. And as it was going down, like right as it hit 180 and started going backwards, I was watching this fairly closely. Right as it hit that and started going backwards consistently, I spent a bunch of money buying these items, and pretty much as I thought, right as they started falling, they immediately started going up in price, and they've been doing that for quite a while. So that's that. Okay, so a few people wanted me to explain how this works. By the way, the game, if you don't know, the game itself, the game has been growing by fairly ridiculous margins. The game has been growing by about 2% a day, and if you know anything about compound interest, whenever anything grows for about 2% a day for several months, you're going to have some ridiculous numbers. And this game is pretty much one of the most popular games of all time on Steam in terms of just consistent player counts. This game is ridiculous in terms of the amount of people that play it. And the cool thing about this sort of stuff is that whenever people start playing a new game like this, generally people don't spend money on in-game items for the game until they've actually played it for maybe a few dozen hours, maybe a few hundred hours. So all of the people that have been recently joining the game, so like over the last month, you had, you know, probably about a million people actually buy the game. I think it was actually a little bit more, but you had like a million, maybe 2 million new players actually buy the game and start playing it. But it's going to take a little while for those players to actually put in enough time into the game before they're actually comfortable buying some of these items. So the demand for these crates is going to continue going up because there's a bit of a delay in terms of people joining the game and people actually buying these crates. So the demand should continue going up. The supply is limited. It's going down, in fact, which is good, and the price should continue going up. Also, right now there's a giant sell order for $2.61. That's probably one person who bought up a bunch of these, who probably spent about like $20,000 or $30,000 buying up a bunch of these, and he's selling them. So I assume he made a lot of money, but I really have no clue. But yeah, one guy has a giant sell order on the market. I don't know why, but it's there. But anyways, so a few people wanted to clarify how this works. Oh yeah, by the way, before I do that, so these crates are currently selling for about $2.10 on OP Skins, which is the third-party website that I use to sell them and actually convert them into money. So I could probably sell them for about $2.10, maybe $2.05. And the items that I bought, the $1,100 that I spent, I bought them on average for $1.70 each. with fees included. So with fees included, I bought them for about $1.70, $1.71 each, and I could sell them right now for $2.10. Now the website does take a 5% fee, meaning that I could probably get about $2, maybe $1.95, just pure money after the fees, and that means that I can make 20 to 25 cents profit per crate, and I currently own 1,477 crates. So do the math there, and I could make a little bit of money if I wanted to right now. But I'm gonna hold these longer, and hopefully they go up, because I have spent a pretty good amount of time looking into this, and I think that they're going to continue going up for various reasons. Okay, so that was the update. Some people had a question on how this entire system worked, so let me explain a little bit better. So Steam has a market on which you can sell items. A lot of these, I mean, you have a place where tens of millions of people play video games, and certain items are going to be worth a lot. And obviously, whenever you have any sort of markets, and especially whenever you have a market that's mostly filled with younger people, teenagers, people in their 20s, and people who aren't really, finance majors and stuff like that, just people who are generally not the wisest people, it's a little bit easier to actually predict how certain things are going to happen. So I like this market. I think it's a really good market for speculating. Not a lot of people understand it, which is good, because it allows you, or at least it allows me to be able to predict the market quite well so far, at least. But anyways, you have a market which you can sell items. So Steam charges a 13% fee whenever you sell anything on its market. So if you sell something for $100, you get about $87 back, right? Also, whenever you buy something on Steam, there is a 7-day trade ban, meaning that whatever you buy, you cannot sell or trade it for 7 days. So you have to hold things for 7 days after you buy them. There's no way of getting around that. You just have to do it. It sits in your inventory for 7 days, and then after that, you can actually go and sell it on a third-party website. Now, if you actually wanted to speculate on the Steam market and actually buy and sell stuff and see if you could make some money, well, first of all, you have to understand how the gaming community works and stuff like that. I don't have any good tips on how you do that. Good luck. You have to I have a decent understanding of it. I don't know where you would begin to try to get an understanding of it. But anyways, if you wanted to deposit a bunch of money onto Steam and try to speculate, the best way of doing it would be buying an item on a third-party website such as OP Skins and then selling it on the market for money. So let me show you. Okay, so let's go to Counter-Strike. So there are certain items on the Steam market which are discounted quite heavily, mainly CSGO items, and mainly the very popular CSGO items. I know of a few. One of the main ones is the Op Asimovs. They're fairly cheap, and they're fairly easy to sell on the Steam market. Where is it? Okay, so let's do this. So as far as you're concerned, this is just an item. It doesn't really matter what it is. It's just a pretty looking item. It's worth a certain amount of money, and I don't know how to explain this to people that don't really understand it. It makes sense to me, but some people don't understand it. So we have this item, right? You can buy it for $29 currently on this website. Now, in order to deposit money on this website, you would have to pay a 3% fee, because mainly you either deposit Bitcoin or PayPal, and if you deposit money from your PayPal, which is what I do, PayPal charges a 3% fee. I think it's a 2.9% fee, but PayPal charges a 2.9% fee for transferring your money. So if you wanted to deposit $100 onto this website, you would have to pay $103 to actually deposit money. So let's say that you had $103 and you wanted to deposit the money, right? You deposit $103. Well, you have $103. You deposit it here. You have $100 left. So you buy this item for $29. Then you go in the Steam community market and you sell it, right? You make an account and you sell it. So this is the item. It is currently selling for, damn this. So I'm not logged in, so it's showing a bunch of different currencies, but it's currently selling, what are they selling for? They're selling for about $39 each. You could sell these for $39 fairly easily, and you can sell a bunch of there's better items to do this with. I'll show you one other item, but they're selling, you could get about $38 for it, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. Let's say that you sell the item for $38, right? So Steam charges a what is it? Steam charges a 13% fee. I'm opening my calculator, which is why I'm not writing anything. But Steam charges a 13% fee, so you multiply this by 1.3. 0.13 I mean, and 38 times 13% is about $5. So you lose about $5 on the transaction. Well, actually, so 38 times 0.87, you get about $33 back, right? Let's say you do that anyways. You get about $33 back from this transaction. So you essentially took $29 and transformed it into $33 on the Steam market, right? That's $4 basically free money. Free, I mean, as in quotes. So you have $34 on the Steam market. Now, before, what you used to be able to do is you used to be able to actually take that $4 and you used to be able to buy a certain type of item. This was when the system wasn't very well known. This was back when these websites were newer and people didn't really know about them. But you used to be able to buy certain items and actually be able to transfer that $3 back, and you used to be able to capitalize on it. Basically, I could buy an item for $29, sell it on Steam for $38, get $33 back, buy a bunch of items, come back on here, sell those items pretty much for exactly what they sell on Steam, and then get like 5 or 10% a week on a certain sum of money that I chose. Basically, I could make about 10% a week, 10% a week with a few $1,000s, and basically you rinse and repeat, and you could have made a decent income. Now, since then, people have realized how to do that, and you can't really do it, so I'm not going to go into it. But once you have the money in the Steam market, you can buy whatever you want. You have to hold it for a week. After you hold it for a week, you can choose to sell it on this website. So for example, crates, where are they? If I wanted to sell all of my crates right now that I have, I would have to transfer them to this website and sell them. I would probably post them for about $2.10. And after they would sell, this website charges a 5% fee to sell on the website. So if I sell something for $2.10, they charge you a 11-cent fee, and you get $1.99 back. And after you get that $1.99 back, it goes into your wallet, and you can either buy more items on here, or you can cash out. Now, when you cash out, they will send the money to your PayPal account, but that will charge another 3% fee, because PayPal charges whenever you transfer money. So you got to pay another 3% fee. So there's a lot of fees involved. Mostly it's just part of the calculation. It's not really anything that you can avoid. Just throw it into your calculations and see how it works, and that's basically your system. Now, the cool thing about this market is, as I've said, for the most part, it's mostly younger people that are in it, and you can get a very good sense of what the market is like based on what people say on Reddit. Like, you can go around, you can read what the developers are saying about the game, you can look at the numbers of how the game is growing. You can also look at the individual sales of the item. Like, I can go and I can actually look at how much of these items are selling per hour. I can look at how much of them are currently on the market. I can track this sort of thing. So actually, I am tracking it, just to give you an example. So 84 hours and 54 minutes ago, there were 168,754 of these items on the market. So it's gone down by over 20,000 items in 84 hours. So basically, you can mess around with the numbers. You can get a very good sense of what the market is doing. And I mean, if you like speculating, this is something that, at least for me, it's fun. And you could make some decent money on it. Now, another thing to consider, and there's a bunch of different things to consider. I'm just going to go over a few of them. There are going to be people who are going to be doing the same exact thing that you're doing, trying to speculate, but those people are not going to be as good at it. So to show a few examples, so as these items were going up, there were a few places where they fell down. So you have the mean priced at like $2.24, and then suddenly they go down to $2.10. That's because you have people who have bought a lot of them. They're dumping them onto the market. I don't know why they do this, but there are people who buy up a bunch of these items and then they will dump them on the market. So you will have scenarios like this. There's another one that happened today right here. One happened right here, one happened right here. But people are going to be dumping several hundred, maybe several thousand items onto the market at a time, and that might crash the market for a little bit, or at least it might lower it by quite a bit for a little bit. The best thing to do is not to panic. You wanna have if you're going to be speculating, you want to have a certain timeline in mind, and you want to have an idea for that timeline. You don't just want to throw money at this and see what happens. So don't do that. But hopefully this clarifies things a little bit. Let me know if you have any other questions. I think that mainly clarifies everything. If you have questions about what's going to happen to certain items on the market, how to gain a better sense of the market. I can't really tell you much about that. You're pretty much on your own when it comes to expectations and what to do on this market. But if you can get good at it, then you can actually make decent money. And I will post more videos in the future if I'm going to be doing this sort of stuff. I'll try to time them a little bit better and not tell you guys what I do after, like way after I do it. So if I buy a bunch of items, I'll tell you right after I buy them instead of telling you a few days down the line whenever I do something like that. But yeah, like I could have told you that I spent $1,100 buying these items right after I bought them, but I was lazy and decided to do it later. But we'll see what happens. Hopefully I'll make some decent money. I'm going to probably hold these out for about another month or so. I think that for another month should be fine. The biggest threat to the price of these items is if the developers decide to release another item. Basically, if they decide to release more skins in the game. If they do that, then that's going to be bad, but I highly doubt that they'll do it for several reasons. The developers did do an AMA, and this was basically a test run to see how their inventory systems handle. So it's unlikely that they're going to be releasing any more items anytime soon, at least not for the next month. And that's good because that means that these items have about a month to go up in price. So anyways, hopefully this helps. Let me know if you have any questions, and that's pretty much everything.